Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close for March 7th, 2025. Whew, nice green day. We got a little bit of a reprieve. We got a little bit of a reprieve from some of the tariffs, so things are looking a little bit better today, heading into a weekend. Hopefully we have a sane weekend, because I'll tell you, Trump just doesn't seem to care. Weekend, weekday, doesn't matter. It's all coming. It's all coming at us. All right. Now, just give me 1 second here. I want to pull the screen up on the other side, because if you guys remember, we had some problems the last time. StreamYard was not sharing our screens. So I'm going to find out if that has changed. Give me 1 second here. All right. All right, let's pull this up. Let's see if you guys can see it. Hopefully you can see the screen this time around. All right, now we are looking at the charts today, and let's head over to the TSX. So the TSX is, of course, in the green today. Nice green day. We are up a full 0.77%. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. But we are still in a red month. We're quite a ways down from where we began, and that's where that little blue line is. I put a blue line at the beginning of the month, so we can see what is going on. All right, so we are definitely well below. Now the S&P 500 also in the green today. Not as strong as the TSX, but they're up 0.35%. Nasdaq up 0.69%. And as we can see, everybody's having a red month this month. But with a lot of tariffs being pushed to April, we got a chance. We have a chance. A bit of a chance. Anything can happen. So I'm going to say we still got March Madness going. We still got March Madness. The Dow Jones also in the green a tiny bit, but in the red for the month. Up 0.40. Gold is down very, very slightly, 0.06. Silver is down a wee bit as well, so 0.34 down. WTI, oil's having a strong day. Look at them. They're up a full 1.50%. Loving it. Crypto, not so good. Bitcoin down 2.6%. Ethereum down 1.57%. So yeah, crypto's taking a little bit of a beating. Let's head into our heat map, and we got a lot of green. It's not looking too shabby. It's not looking too shabby at all for Canada. Look at this. CNQ up 2.10%. Imperial oil up a full 6.08%. That's pretty darn good. WCN is up. Enbridge is up. TD is up. So yeah, it's looking pretty strong. And look at this. I'm going to pull up Bell. Bell has been on a little bit of a tear here as of late. They're back up to 35. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get back into the 40s. Probably a while, but well, we'll see. It's there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go for sure. All right, looking at the U.S. Oh boy. Oh, do I have? No. This is not everybody. This is just tech. All right. Oh boy. All right. Hold on. We're gonna get us. I have to get us in there fresh. There we go. All right. So we got Apple up, Microsoft down. Broadcom, look at them. They're up 8.48%. Not too shabby. Tesla down a little bit. Eli Lilly down quite a ways. 4.8 down. Costco down. Walmart down. Amazon down. Got some big ones that are down, that's for sure. All right, get ready for the red. Here comes the red. We got crypto. There's a lot that is holy banana bread. All right, guys, look at this one. Mint Club. I have no clue what this is. No clue. But look at this. They are 2,705,549.72% up. Like, what? What is that? Like, yeah, look, that's a straight line. Oh boy, yeah. So any of you who happen to have Mint Club, you may have minted a few today. Wow, that's pretty big. Um, Leaving Mint Coin alone, let's stick with the regular coins. Bitcoin is down a bit today, 2.61%. Ethereum's down 1.43. XRP down 4.11. Dogecoin's up 1.99 as well as Solana. And there are, it's like, you know what? You could just stick with the mint. Let's stick with the mint coin. There's 15,000 plus coins out there that are what I call crap coins. And I hate to say it, even though this thing is up 2.7 million%, it's a crap coin. It's still a crap coin. I don't know what mint coin does. I'm not, I may look at this and say, oh my God, 2.7 million%. If only I put $1 in there this morning. Yeah. I don't even know if this could be a pump and pull. This could be a pump and dump. This could be a rug pull. I don't have a clue what this is. Be very, very careful with stuff like this because and chances are, if you were to jump on this coin right now, let's say you dropped $100 into it, I bet you're never going to see that $100 again. That would be my bet. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But yeah, this is what I call a crap coin. Stick with the big coins. Stick with the Bitcoin. Stick with the Ethereum. Maybe leave the mint coin to people who perhaps don't like their money. That's what I'm saying. All right. Now there we go. Let's hit the chat very quickly here. Get caught up. We got about 8 minutes to the bell. We got Jonathan starting off with am I late for tariffs or early? Maybe both. Maybe both. Bleak is in the house with a hey, and we got a happy Friday, everyone, from Max. Roku is saying, afternoon all. This week's market has really helped with my RRSP meltdown. Probably. What a week, guys. Chad says, howdy, everyone. Good sunny day. Trump, any idiot. Yeah. It's actually nice. Right now, I can see blue sky. I can see blue sky through the window here in the studio. So I'm like, oh, it's nice. It's nice. Uranium stocks took a beating. Uh-oh. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to take a look at any uranium yet, but we'll take some looks here in a moment. Kevin Cass says, good afternoon, gang. Starting to feel like a yo-yo with tariffs. Yeah, it's like it's like that song, the Hokey Pokey one. You put your tariff in, you take your tariff out, you do the hokey pokey, and you throw them all about. I don't know, something like that. That is that's been what's happening. David says Beaver Buck was weak today. I'm not sure where I'm taking a gander here. Let's see here. 69. Yeah, we're at 69.56 right now. So yeah, we're under the 70. I want us to get back to the 70, but what can we do? What can we do? Let's see. Yeah, Yellow Man can't make up his mind. It's not even that. I think part of it is so there's been a lot that's happened with the tariffs. So he comes out with his 25% across the board, 10% for energy. Of course, then all the farmers get really mad at him because they're like, you don't understand how much potash we get from Canada. We need the potash. We don't have it. So he's like, oh, okay, we'll knock the tariff down to 10% on potash. Then, of course, all of the automotive companies are like saying, do you understand how much these things are going back and forth across the border? We don't even have, it'll take us, a decade to have the ability to make it at home. And he's like, all right, well, I'll give you a month. So, so then we got that. And then Mexico complained, and then he decided, well, all right, I'll give you until April 2nd on all of the things that are in the North American trade agreement that we signed last time I was in office. And of course, because he gave that to Mexico, he kind of had to give it to Canada too. So basically about 62% of our exports are currently getting tariffed. So the rest of it's not. Now, here's that thing. as far I believe, and I have to check the date, but I think it's next week, maybe Wednesday, when the tariff is supposed to drop for aluminum and steel. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And maybe he'll even change his mind on that. We just don't know. Um, it'll be interesting to see how this is all going to come down on April 2nd. And the reason it's April 2nd is he said he didn't want to do it on April 1st because he wanted people to know he wasn't joking. So, oh boy. David says long Utes and UMAX doing okay as risk off. Yeah, Utes is I like Utes. Rory says, hi Candace, do you think Baytex Energy is a buy right now? That's a good question. You know what? They changed this little thing here on my board. Everything worked perfectly, and then they went and added another box. So I have to actually slide my window over to pull up the screen. I'm like, no. I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. All right, Baytex. That was the question here. Let's head over here. Baytex Energy, what is it? It's BTE, I think. Here we go. Oh, they had a pretty good day. Like they're up 3.546% today. That's not too shabby. I'm going to come back to the last year. So yeah, you can see Baytex Energy. They've been on a very downward trajectory. I'm kind of liking where their price is right now. I've always liked Baytex. They've always been like a little bit of a dark horse to me. Like they've got a half decent dividend, so 3.191%. It's a quarterly dividend. I'm going to come in here to their key data, take a look, see where their debt's sitting at right now. So yeah, they've got a 55% debt to equity ratio, so that's not too bad. I'd like to see that return on equity get a little higher. Right now it's sitting at 5.92%. But I do think this is a good company. I do think. And I think once oil really starts to pump, this company should do a little bit better. But I am a little concerned with that movement. So I would not be like going all in with Baytex, but it might be something if you've got a little bit of patience and you want a dollar cost average. It may be in a good spot for that. But for now, I'm just a little bit concerned just about that movement because it's been a long, like I'm going to go to their 3-year and you'll see it's been even longer. Like this has been a trend down for quite a bit. Now, if we go to the 5 years, they had a nice buildup. This here, of course, that's all that extra money from the pandemic, but they had this really nice buildup, but they have been coming back down to earth. But keep in mind, look at the buildup where they started on the buildup. They're still doing pretty good. Like if this was a slower buildup, this is where they would be. So, if you want to ignore all of this, they're really not in that bad of a place. So, I think they're worth watching for sure. All right. David says Bitcoin is fighting with support turned resistance 92K zone. Yes. Yeah, Bitcoin has been, and hold on, let's pull this up. Let's head down to Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has been absolutely struggling, and they've been struggling for quite a while. And the 92 zone, that's right up about here. So this is where they bounced off the last time they came up, and this was them coming up after Trump had announced the whole reserve, the crypto reserve. So, and then of course it went right back down. Pretty much all of the coins that got pumped on the weekend came right back down. So they crashed right back to where they were. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I still think Bitcoin has another big run. Like I still think they have another all-time high shot before we start to even think about a crypto winter and what that's going to look like. But the fact that we're hanging comfortably down here in the 80s, it does make me more confident that we may go as low as the 50s once we start heading into a crypto winter. Not now. It's like, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and it'll be 50K. But I think it could get down to that area when we go into the next crypto winter, whenever that may be. It could be later this year. We'll have to see. It really depends. If they start moving ahead and the US starts actually buying a lot of these crypto assets to put into this reserve, that could be very interesting. That could be really, really interesting. But right now, it's still technically talk. Bill says, one guy selling Mint Club from account A to account B to sucker people in. It could be. It could be. I'm just saying I wouldn't touch Mint with a 10-foot pole right now. All right. Mary is in the house with a good afternoon. And guys, Mary's in the house. So you gotta hit the like button. I'm gonna have some coffee here. Will you guys all hit that like button? So good. Oh, and guys, it's bell time. Okay, I went pretty light because I didn't have a chance to give a warning. Holy banana bread! I can't believe the bell time snuck up so fast. It is now the weekend. So welcome to the weekend, guys. Welcome to the weekend. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right. I think what they've actually done is they've created something called scenes over here. So I have a feeling I might be able to do some cool stuff with that once I figure it out. Anyway, I'm just talking about StreamYard. Don't mind me. All right. Stan is in the house with a happy happy Friday all. All right, there we go. I'm going to bring me back up to full. Oh my God, it brought me all the way up. This is going to, yeah, I think this is what's happened. Like all the issues I was having the other day, I think it's because they were making a whole bunch of changes and bringing new features in. So I'll have to get this all figured out here. And I will. I'll get it all figured out and figure out what they're doing. And hopefully it's going to give me more stuff I can do, which will be cool. Larry says, sold crude oil today, 9% gain, went long. NVDX, Hut 8, TSLL, GameStop, and Disney. Nice. Let's see, crude oil calls up from 39 to 85. Ooh, very cool. All right. We got a void here. I love it. I love this void. Like your videos, any chances of looking at CNQ, CNR, and NTR, all Canadian, and took quite a beating today. Yeah, there's always a chance. Let me bring back the screen. Let's start with CNQ. Let's take a gander here. Here we go. CNQ. So Canadian Natural Resources. I like them. Now they are up. They were up basically 1.98%. So excuse me, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, actually, I'm going to pull back here. So oil, as you can see, oil has been on a downtrend for most of this year. That actually ties back into Baytex. Baytex, of course, being oil. So they're following that same trend. But I still like Baytex. And I really, really like CNQ. So for me, when CNQ goes down, I like to average down with them. I think, and CNQ, I mean, they're huge and they have a very big moat. And right now it's basically just oil. Oil will rebound. Oil always does. When it does, if you've been dollar cost averaging the things like CNQ, oh boy, you're definitely going to be in good shape. Now you also mentioned CNR. All right, and here it is, a good old CNR. Now, yeah, they've been struggling a little bit. They've had a rough year. 2024 was not great. Everything from some of the fires causing disruption, some of the strike, and some of the potential strikes. They just haven't had a really good year. I'm going to pull up their 3-year. As you can see, I mean, from here they have, they've pretty much had a downward trend. And this is one of these companies that I like. I love it when they go down because it does give you a more affordable opportunity to get in. CNR, I mean, they're recession proof. They're going to be fine on the other end, no matter what. You got to look at it this way: between CNR and CP Rail, you can't even have a newcomer come in and say, all right, let's lay down a bunch of tracks across Canada and into North America. Yeah, you can't. So they're both going to be absolutely fine. And they're huge. So I have a lot of faith in them, even if we get worse, even if the tariffs get really, really bad. I think CNR will be fine. They'll bounce. They'll bounce, no problem at all. All right, now NTR. So Nutrien. Let's pull up Nutrien. Here we go. All right, now they're up a little bit today, but I'm going to pull back the 3-year, and you can see, yeah, Nutrien has suffered a little bit, but once again, I mean, this is going to be a company. I think they're going to be fine long term. I think they're in a very good buying spot right now. We are heading into the growing season, so we should see some amount of movement in the spring. We should. I'd still like them. I still like them long term. Like right now, most of the potash. So that we were talking about the potash earlier. Most of the potash that all the farmers in the U.S. use, they're getting it from Canada, specifically from Nutrien. So yeah, they're going to be fine. They will absolutely be fine. I probably should do another video on Nutrien sooner than later. Let's see. Larry says away Carl Zeiss up 35%. PKX POSCO up 30%. Nice. Roy says BTE is close to zero, so not going to hit me too much. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's two something for sure. Let's see. David says Baytex looks like a corrective decline, lots of overlap. Yeah, and there's probably a little bit of that in there as well. Kind of what I was mentioning. Like they had that big, huge pandemic pump. And so you got to kind of take that into consideration. They're not down as much as they look like. They look like they're down a lot more than they actually are. Rory says, I'm not in it yet. I have a low ball order to buy it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. David says, tech is not leading off the bottom today. That has to change if we're going up. Yeah. I mean, tech has really had some interesting stuff. Now, there is, in the world of AI, I did read an article today about OpenAI. They're actually coming out with a whole bunch of new models, and they're going to come up with a PhD model that's designed for researchers. I don't know what they're going to charge for it, but I think you're going to have a whole bunch of specific case models that they can then monetize quite a bit more. But and that'll be good, of course, for OpenAI and Microsoft. But I still think we're at the beginning of the AI bubble. If you want to call it a bubble, I think there's still a lot more to go. And kind of what's happening right now with the tariffs, with unemployment. So the unemployment numbers came out today. One thing that came out I thought that was really interesting is in the U.S. Federal jobs were down 10,000 last month, and you guys know why, right? Doge is in there just cutting federal jobs left, right, and center. So not too surprising, and definitely very interesting. All right, Wayne says, Larry, I'm with you on oil. Great gain today. Sold at 10, then immediately short sold. Rare event. Kudos. And yeah, natural gas did. Yeah, oil. Pretty much energy overall did pretty good today, especially oil, natural gas for sure. MDA kick butt today. Let's take a look. Chad. I have not looked at MDA today. All right. So MDA space. Look at this. They're up what? 17.727%. Oh boy, that's pretty darn good. And let's pull it to the last year. They have been doing good. Now they had a little bit of a correction here, but now another pump. Very, very cool. Definitely cool. And Chad says up 17.77%. Yeah, absolutely. David says strategy dog of the day. So let's take a look. MSTR. So it's funny. They're still actually TMX is still calling them Michael's. Yeah, that's it. Michael's strategy, micro strategy. Even though they have officially changed their name to strategy. But let's take a look. So yeah, a little bit down, but well, this whole area here is a little bit better than down here. And I know Paul has Paul's been doing some trades with MicroStrategy lately. Sorry, with strategies It is so hard. It is so hard to not call them MicroStrategy. What can I say? BHP from, let's see. Oh, BHP from Australia is building a giant potash extraction area in Canada. Interesting. That could be very interesting for sure. Let's see here. All right. Saskatchewan. So Rory's thinking it could be in Saskatchewan. Oh, interesting. I don't know where. Esterhazy. Is that a place in? I assume that's in Saskatchewan. Esterhazy, Saskatchewan. Well, let's find out. Why not? We've got. So let's see. What is that? Esterhazy. There it is. Yeah, it's a town. It's a town in Saskatchewan. Pretty snowy town, maybe, but no. I mean, yeah, maybe. Why not? Let's see. Saskatchewan Potash run by Nutrien. Good luck with that. Good old Saskatchewan. You gotta love it when Saskatchewan hits. It comes up in our topic. O. Jansen. All right. AA says Brookfield stocks are doing bad. Sad because these are a few stocks that I wanted to keep. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I actually took some profits from Brookfield Asset Management when they were high. But I still like Brookfield overall. Like, I think long term, I think they're good. But yeah, there's a few things like I did open up in the challenge. I actually opened up a position in EXE. So they're just really primed to do great through the tariff time. So I'm looking forward. So yeah, any of you who have not seen today's video yet on EXE, just check it out, because I was actually I liked what I saw enough that I did open a position. Now I did have to sell out of another position though to fund what I wanted to do. So anyway, we'll have a video on that at the beginning of April. Rory says Jansen project comes online in 2026 for BHP. Okay. And Chad is saying Esterhazy is what, K1, K2, K3? It's run by Mosaic. Don't see someone else moving or mowing their grass. Okay, there we go. Yeah, good old Esterhazy. So that's going to be interesting for sure. So we'll have to see how that all works out. I'm pretty okay with it. Now, I did want to look at something here. All right, I want to actually go back to CNQ here for a moment, because I thought that they had earnings that came out. So let's take a look, and I think they did okay. CNQ down here. Here we are. Yeah, here we go. Here's their earnings. So they had their earnings report on yesterday. So the earnings wise, well, they beat by a tiny bit on their earnings. So they were they estimated 0.929 per share, and they came in at 0.93. So they did beat there, but their revenue came out, well, a little bit low, but it's still not that bad. Now, looking at investors actually liked it. Like, they had a nice little open. So that's not too shabby. So hopefully I'd like to see a little bit more with CNQ. I definitely would like to see them coming back. Like at one point, CNQ, they were pretty much at the top of the heap in the challenge for quite the while. So, and now they're fighting in the bottom. So definitely want to see some movement there. Brookfield, anything to do with Mark Carney? I have heard that connection. Interesting though. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's going on right now, or if it's, there's a lot of moving balls right now when it comes to the economy. It comes to tariffs. So yeah, very, very interesting. All right, most potash mines. I was gonna say potash instead of potash. Potash mines in Saskatchewan. Ferris is in the house. Hello, Ferris. Good to see you. Loving it. Wayne says, Larry, good move. let's see. I follow Brent futures. A spike up preceded West Texas crude this AM. Let's see. I trade with another trader who lives on the Isle of Man. Gives me a heads up last night. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. When you are waiting for the market to open and you're thinking, what's the market gonna do today? I like to go and take a look at some of the international markets because you can sometimes see red coming. You can also look at futures as well. So futures, international markets, they can give you a good idea of what you might be expecting. Now, mind you, I have seen days where China's been in the red, Europe's been in the red, England's been in the red, and then we're fine. And I've seen it go the other way as well, but sometimes it just gives you a general idea of what you might want to watch out for with a day on the market. So like right now, like thinking ahead to Monday. Right now, there's nothing between now and Monday that should turn Monday into a red day. There's nothing. So Monday should be green. It should be. However, we got Trump, and Trump sometimes does crazy stuff on the weekend. So as long as he doesn't do anything crazy on the weekend, we should have a green day on Monday. We also have this weekend in Canada, we've got our leadership convention. So we should have a new leader named, I believe, Monday on the 10th. We're supposed to have that person. So whether it is, we all know it's probably going to be Mark Carney, and hopefully we get a better hint on when we're going to get an election, because I would like to see one sooner than later. Let's get a government in there that gets a mandate from the people. All right. Irish. Gotta love the Irish. Let's see. U.S. market ended with uptrend during the last hour. Yeah, I think so. Let's take a look. Whoops. All right, let's come back here. Yeah, we'll go over here to the S&P 500. So yeah, look at this. Yeah, they did. I mean, overall, and this here starts from 1630. So yeah, the last few hours of the afternoon was good. So we saw a little bit of a movement up, and same idea in Canada. I mean, the very last bit we had a little bit of red, but for the most part, the second half of the day, pretty good. Men at work. Who can it be now? Love it. Love it. Are we going to start talking about 80s music again, guys? Because I can talk about 80s music for a long time. Rory says, Mr. Burns on Monday. Maybe. Let's see. Doing my income tax rep. Fun. How y'all? Yeah, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. Income tax is fun. Income tax for sure. Now that we're in March, you pretty much should have all of your stuff. So you should be ready. Everybody should be ready to go with their taxes for sure. AA says, yeah, that will be Mark Carney. Yeah, we'll get Mark Carney in here on Monday. Well, we're not going to get him in. He'd never show up here on this show, and I don't think there's a few people in the community I'm pretty sure would not would give him a really rough time with the questions, and I'm going to read them. So but yeah, he'd never pop up. Ferris says, hope by weekend Trump busy playing golf and let Elon go to SpaceX office to find the traces of that blown up rocket. Yeah, he loves blowing up rockets. He blows up the rocket. He blows up the economy. He's the blow it up guy. I guess you can say Elon just blows. Rory says, of traces of blown Tesla engines. Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it's funny. Every time I saw that yesterday. I was looking at CNN and I saw something about traces of his rocket blowing up. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, not another one, but yeah, another one. It's like, how scary will it be to be that first group of astronauts Elon sends to Mars? You'll get a good 3 years or whatever of expecting everything to blow up around you. Yeah, it's fun. Although a group that's not SpaceX did land a probe on the moon, so I don't know if you've seen any of the shots from that. That's actually pretty darn cool. So Definitely liking that. Definitely liking that for sure. That's pretty darn good. So what can I say? What can I say? Um, yeah. So I know that it's gonna be. I think it's definitely gonna be interesting. I think I just want to get March done and over with because, well, one, you know, I'll be able to adapt because we got the time change coming up really soon as well. What is it? I think it's the third weekend of March. So that's going to be fun. It's like as soon as I get my body completely in a really good groove, they throw in a time change. Although I think it's Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan doesn't have to deal with it. So that's always fun. Other than the thing I would find kind of strange living in Saskatchewan is like, part of the year I'm an hour off from this time zone. The other part of the year I'm 2 hours off. I would find that would be interesting. Chat says, let's see. Watched that last night. Elon loses more money. I know. What can you say? What can you say? Excuse me. Let's see. Artie says, hey, Candace, do you have any ETF on China? I was thinking to get some QWEB or large caps. It's like 50% plus this year. I don't have any investments at all into China, but well, I can't say I don't. If you invest in XEQT, I do believe there is some China exposure in there, but yeah, I don't know of any particular one. However, with that being said, whoops, that's not China, not by a long shot. I'm just going to type in China here and see what we got. So here's it. Let's see. We got China Gold International Resources, China Gold, China Kelly Electric Company, China Education Resources, iShares China Index. This is what we're looking for. Here we go. So this here's your iShares China Index ETF. I like iShares. Let's pull this out and take a look. So yeah, it's doing better. It's doing better. And this kind of maps when China was struggling, and now China's doing a little better. So this might be one to look at. HCH. So I definitely I do like them. It's it's a good. I think it's a good ETF. Now let me just see here. Let's see. So basically, they're basically trying to create a diversified representation of the Chinese equity market. So yeah, it's kind of like the S&P 500 version of China per se. So I do like that for sure. All right, let's see. Farah says, "What do you think about bonds?" Now are we talking about any particular James Bond? No, I'm kidding. Bonds. I did do a video on them it's probably a couple of years now, but bonds are one of those things where I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of them just because I feel like through stocks and ETFs, you can definitely do a lot of different things. They do have their place, absolutely, but I've never really been a huge fan of them, to be honest. But they certainly do have their place. And if you're looking to build fixed income, you can certainly create a role with bonds. I know Nine has been, using that ETF with the treasury bonds. So you can, bonds you can work them in. I just think that we have so many good ETFs now, and that you can pretty much, and there's lots of different options when it comes to fixed income that I find might be a little more versatile than bonds. But I probably do need to do another video on bonds. So I might have to do that. Chad says, let's see, poor guy lost 100 billion since he joined Doge. You gotta love it. Let's see, Fair's Yin Yang. Always hold bonds, especially if you're older. See, and Chad likes the bonds. And I don't want to say that bonds are bad. I'm just saying I personally, they're just not my favorite investment. Not my favorite, but I think they still do have a role. Kievan Cat says Doge should be looked at. Firing Elon, he makes a lot of errors. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, let's take a look. See if they're in here. KWeb. So I think these are what, more Chinese. So KWeb, yeah, the Crane Shares China Internet ETF. Okay, interesting. And here's the Crane Shares CSI China Internet ETF. Let's take a gander here. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what happened there, but you know, maybe that was Evergrande. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of moving interesting here. Now, keep in mind, now with this one here, and I don't know anything about it because I'm just sort of coming in brand new on this one. Okay, a little bit of a yield, so it's not using anything, and it's not like using covered calls or anything like that. Let's see here. Let's see, investable universe of Chinese renminbi denominated equity securities on the Shenzhen or Shanghai stock exchanges. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also EFIX. Let's pull that up. EFIX, here we go. First Trust TCW emerging market. Oh, I like this. I like emerging markets. Just give me a second here. Let's pull up. I'll grab the 3-year here on this. So yeah, this one's been moving up steadily. Since about 2022. So that's not too shabby. This one does have a half decent dividend, like a 6.43 monthly. That's not bad. That's not bad. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of options out there. I'm probably going to stick to like my all equity, to be honest, but maybe I'll dabble a bit into China. But for now, I think the fact that I get a lot of emerging markets and get access to the whole world through something like XEQT, and guys, let me just show you this in case you're not familiar with XEQT, but I think most of you are. Let's look at the 3-year on that, and you'll see it's a completely different story because you get so much stability when you're investing right across the board. That's one of the things I like about this one. Now, mind you, if Donald and his tariffs, if he starts tariffing everybody, we could see maybe some good good entry points for XEQT. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the thing is, something like this, it probably wouldn't react as badly as something like, for example, the S&P 500 if the economy gets absolutely decimated with his tariffs. So it's going to be interesting. I think those of you who like to watch how economies work, we're in for a master class. And it's almost like Donald Trump is doing a real life version of what not to do to an economy. So it's going to be fun. Ferris says, that's U.S. taxpayers' money, not Elon's. True. Let's see. Rory says, as a kid, I always asked my dad where he was going. He says, I'm going to Doge. All right. Yin and Yang are the 2X bull bear ETFs. That's actually kind of crafty. The yin and the yang. Very cool. Very cool. Finbar says, been playing Air Canada since the 15s and selling in the 16s. Been a fun week. Did it twice. Nice. I am back into Air Canada again in the challenge. So I'm going to be buying under 17. So this time around, any month it's under 17, I'm going to add probably about 5 shares each month that it is, and we'll wait until it breaks out of that zone and gets back up into the low 20s, and then we'll do it again like we did last time. This time I did start off with significantly more shares, so that way there we can make a little bit more on that trade in the challenge. Oops, sorry. Here's Finbar, guys. I forgot to click on Finbar. Larry says, for China, let's see, Bleak says, I do service work at that MDA building. Nice. And Chad says, nice Bleak out in Brampton. Gotta love Brampton. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, with Air Canada, I'm going to pull this up. Let's go into Air Canada. Right now they're sitting at 1636. But here's the thing. I want to come out here. I actually want to come out to their 10-year. All right. So just looking at Air Canada before the pandemic, this giant cliff here, that's the pandemic, guys. So they were doing fantastic. Then along came a pandemic. Now, in the process, one of the big things is that Air Canada did a lot of dilution. So basically creating more shares. So it lowers the share price because all of a sudden you have a lot more outstanding shares. So they diluted, they did that to sort of stay afloat. And that's kind of what happens. Now, when you look at this, and we're going to come back to the 5-year, you'll see here that what they have been doing here, and I'm going to come back to the 10-year, right about here, this level here around 25, that looks to be roughly their top. Like they were having a trouble getting, like they did at one point get all the way up to almost 30, but from about 25 to 30, that tends to be the most resistance that they're going to have moving up. Now, what has happened before, and I've played this a few times. So anytime that they're below, and I'm going to come into we'll come into the 3-year. So right now, if they're below, and I'm going to do for this time around, I'm going to do 17. So anytime they're basically down below, so right, in here, and where we're at right now, I'm going to start adding them up. I'm going to buy them. And then last time I did 20, I'm probably going to hold out to maybe 20. You know what? I'm going to hold out to 22 this time around. So 22, I will sell when they get back to 22. So right now, as long as anytime they're under 17, even if they just go under 17 for a day, that's enough. As long as they go under 17 once in the month, I'm going to add 5 more shares. I believe I started off with 40 because this is the challenge. We get limited money in the challenge, so that's what we're playing with. Not to say that I don't have Air Canada in other places, but right now that's going to be in the challenge. We're going to do that. And now the last time we did this, we did it at 16. And let's pull in the 16 here. And I'm going to come in. Let's actually come into the 1 year. So we did it at 16 before, and basically in this area is when we did it. And then it exploded out. Now, when it exploded out, Air Canada announced a few things that were fantastic. One, they were doing well enough that they're going to do share buybacks. Doing share buybacks means you buy shares from, people who want to sell them, and you basically rip them up. And that means that your number of outstanding shares gets smaller, and it does help push the value up. So they had a lot of positivity in here. And then, of course, now this is all, Trump and everything. All of the tariffs and stuff has pushed them back down, which is great. It's giving me another kick at the can with Air Canada. So I'm looking great. I'm happy about this. This is going to be a good one. So yeah. And I know Tom made a big killing off of that last Air Canada, because Tom followed me on that Air Canada swing last time, and but he was using significantly more than what I was using. So Tom did really, really well. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Tom won a membership the other day. Always love that. Wayne wants to know if Tom lives in Kitchener. I do not know where Tom lives. Did you fix your issues with Quest Trade yet? No. It's Monday will be 3 weeks. The other day I got into the chat, and oh my God, I think it was almost 2 hours. And the person was just like, oh, don't worry. It'll get processed. And I was just like, all right. So I almost felt like a brush off, but what can you do? So right now, no, I still don't have a code. I still don't have access. It's annoying me. It's very much annoying me. It's like right now I can't. If somebody says, "Hey, is Quest Trade good?" I'll say, "I don't know. I've been waiting 3 weeks." Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody told me that and I was thinking about getting involved with them, I would be like, 3 weeks, forget that. So yeah, I mean, right now I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed with that at all. So we'll see if they we'll see once they finally get this all fixed. Now I did check before I went on the air, probably about an hour before, because one day I'll come in and I'll say, guess what, guys, it's working. Trust me, you guys will know, because that'll be one of the first things I say when I get on the air, is that, yay, it's working. But so far, nope, nothing. All right. Cowboy says late, but I'm here. Afternoon all. Hello, Cowboy. Good to see you. And there we go. Tom is in Kitchener. So gotta love Kitchener. Gotta love Kitchener for sure. Yeah, we're having a pretty good day. Yeah, I was gonna mention interesting thing. So the one of the new features on StreamYard is that it will use AI to find basically some shorts for me. So it'll make shorts for me, and we've kind of just been looking at that. So one of the interesting things is that apparently it'll only do it if it's 2 hours or less. So I know that I said after each live stream we'll do some I'll do one of those shorts just to see if we can find the highlight. So yeah, as long as we're under 2 hours, but a lot of times I think this week goes over 2 hours. Last time it was actually good. We were under 2 hours by I think about 2 minutes. So I was able to do it. So yeah, any of this week's, if they go over 2 hours, I probably won't be able to do a short on those, but I'll make all the shorts for the market closes and that. So we'll come up with, there'll be something here that's really funny, or something that we can use for sure. What? Whoa. Hold the presses. Let's see. Trump just announced 250% tariffs on dairy products. Maybe London. Maybe lumber. Maybe tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, guys, that doesn't sound good. Let's take a gander. At this. Actually, we'll go into the news. Let's go over to the Globe and Mail. Let's see if anything is in here yet. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Tariffs coming for Canadian dairy lumber within days. All right, let's take a look at this. 250%. Seriously, that sounds. I hope that's a misprint. I hope you meant 25, but that would be very, very crazy. Let me see here. I'm just scanning through this really quickly to see if I can see a number. No, that's just the 25% that we have on them. But yeah, I'm not seeing any numbers in here. I hope it's supposed to be 25, because that would not be good. That would not be good. But yeah, I know that Trump is very, very annoyed at our dairy. So that does not surprise me. Does not surprise me that we could be looking at these really, really, really soon. All right. Let's see. Larry says making Texas-shaped chicken nuggets to celebrate victory in the market today. Nice. Of course, it sounds like a lot of work to make a Texas-shaped chicken nugget, but why not? Ferris says Costco reduced Canadian products in U.S. stores. That does not surprise me. It does not surprise me. I mean, we're kind of doing that up here. Like, I know we were showing they were showing some of the liquor stores and all of the empty shelves on the news the other night. So that was very, very interesting. Rory had some chicken nuggets last night. And let's see, I saw this on CNN, one of his rambling speech. He said he was going to reciprocate our unjust tariffs. That's what reciprocal means, he said. Yeah, that's what he said, that he's going to hit back. And he's also going to take aim at, for example, our DST, so the digital sales tax. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And Jackie's confirming it. Jackie is confirming it. I thought Seabass probably Sea bass. Yeah, I was sure that I was hoping sea bass was wrong, but now we got a confirmation. 250% on dairy. Well, I guess if you live in the States and you want some good old Canadian milk, you're not gonna be able to get any. Not without paying through the leg for it. Oh boy. Let's see. Cowboy says that 250%. We may have number one grade in Canada instead of all the number one going to the South. Yeah, yeah. There's going to be plenty of milk for Canadians. Maybe, maybe, hopefully, if we do have a surplus, it helps at least prices on this side of the border with milk. But I know before I've seen news articles on some dairy farms that when they have surpluses, they pretty much were just dumping the milk out instead of giving people a break on the price. But gotta say, it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Let's see. And Ferris says Canadian dairy is not a significant export, and a reciprocal 241% tariff on milk is unlikely to do significant economic damage to either country. Probably not. Probably not. I think if anything, Trump wants to move more American milk product up here than what we probably move down there. I'm happy with. I think a lot of our health standards on Canadian milk are really, really good. And I know that certain people, I think RFK Jr. is a fan of raw milk, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. It's like, yeah, let's keep things pasteurized. All right, chat says Trump signed them trade tariffs back in 2018 when a sieve head, or what is that? Or is that supposed to be what a sieve head? No, it's okay, Wayne. I just skipped over that you guys having your conversation back and forth. I'm fine with that. It's cool. It's like, talk. Eventually it may get so busy, like, when the channel gets big enough that it gets that busy, we'll probably do some kind of system where if you've got a question, maybe start it with a queue or something. But right now, it's still manageable. It's still manageable for sure. Larry says, I will say this milk straight from the cow is magical. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm actually kind of partial to almond milk, and that's not coming from a cow. If it is, it's a really weird looking cow. Let's see. The taste is amazing. Uncle owns a dairy farm. I mean, it might be amazing. And if you have a situation where, if the cows are clean, disease free and all of that, maybe it's not so bad. But I don't know. I just for me, it's like I don't really. Probably the most I have milk wise is I have cream. I have some cream in here. And sometimes on my cereal, I might have milk occasionally on my cereal. I normally will have almond milk though, because I don't know. I kind of like the taste of it. Ferris says rat milks are expensive. Rat milk. I suppose. How many rats would you have to milk for a glass? I mean, and you need like little hands to milk those rats. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Let's see. In Ohio, it's unsafe though. We don't drink it a lot. Yeah, and that's a thing. And a lot of times, like I think a lot of the issues with the milk is one, depending on where the cows are, what the cows are exposed to. Also, a lot of the handling. Sometimes you can get a lot of stuff in there. So all of that fun stuff. Chad says humans are the only species to drink milk after birth. That is true. That is true. I mean, milk. I've heard many arguments that humans should not be drinking milk at all after birth. I'm okay with that. There is alternatives for sure. Let's see. Cowboy says American milk can have bovine growth hormone that is banned in Canada. So the USDA has approved its use. So human or bovine growth hormone. I don't know if that would how close molecularly that would be to like the human growth hormone. They're probably close. They're probably close because genetically, cows and humans are not that far off. Like you can, this is going to be weird, but you could actually take a human baby, an embryo, and you could actually use a cow as a surrogate. I don't think it happens very often, but I know it's possible. Farrah says, "Okay, please call me." Okay, please. Oh, please tell me. I thought call me. Yeah. Okay, please tell me one. Hold on for dear life. A hodl stocks for 2025. Um, that's a good question. It really depends. 2025 is going to be turbulent. So there's two different answers for this. One, you have to look at some of the companies that are going to be affected by tariffs and whether they're going to be really good deals, because when they recover, they're probably going to do really, really well. Um, and I'm going to say, I will actually talk a tiny bit about lumber. So I know right now, Trump is like saying, okay, we'll put all these heavy tariffs on Canadian lumber. We got our own wood. We're fine. But he's also talking about rezoning some of the American national parks so that they can start cutting trees down in them. So they do have their own wood, but I think on the other side of this, Canadian lumber will rebound very, very well. So you take a company like, and I've been very bullish on Bird Construction, and gosh, let's go. Like Bird Construction is really far down right now, but I am still very, very, very keen on them. And I'm just going to pull up the 3-year. So, and keep in mind, when I say they're very, very down, I mean, even considering the growth that they've had this year, they're still way up compared to where they are. And I think they're a healthy company. I think right now, if you can get Bird Construction for under $20 a share, that's not bad. And I do think, they may struggle a little bit through these tariffs, but that to me is going to be one of these buying opportunities I think that we're going to see through the tariffs and perhaps even through a recession if we get that as well. Now, if you're not thinking about that and you're looking at a stock that you want that might perhaps stay green through there, there's a few different ones. And also, you could look at anything from Dollarama, EXE, which I did a deep dive on today. I think those will both be stocks that will have their green days all the way through whatever economic downturns we got coming our way. So definitely those are just some things. And and Dollarama, pull them up. Let's pull up Dollarama here. Just today alone, they're up 1.17. So we pull up their year, you can sort of see, they had a little bit of a down movement, and they're going to, but they're still going to be fine. They're going to be fine all the way through. EXE, pull them up because I mentioned them as well. So this here is Extendicare, and I won't talk too much about them because you can find out more by watching today's video. But yeah, look at this. This is crazy growth. They've had a lot of good growth, but this is a trend because they own long care homes. This is there's only going to be more demand for their services, not less. So, a recession doesn't stop people from aging and from needing help. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be a good company as well. All right, Chad says, just don't buy USA products. I've been like that most of my life. Support locally or refuse to buy it. And there's, nothing wrong with helping the mom and pop shops in your own community, because, you help them, and then they buy from you and all of that. It's the bird of life. I was going to say the bird of life. It's because I saw Rory ahead. He said, I'll pull it up. He said, bird is the word. I was thinking about that as I was going to say that. And I came up with the bird of life instead of the cycle of life. Dear God. All right. Let's see. Oops. Where the heck was I? Right here. Larry says, does Canada have human growth hormone in baby milk? I know we do here. That I don't know. I really don't know what we have in the baby milk. Chad says, Ferris Loblaw's doing good. Nice pump today. Everyone needs to eat Dollarama, great too. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Dollarama, the only store I feel rich in nowadays. Makes sense. Yeah, he says we don't sell milk to the U.S. Processed dairy, yes, like cheese. Yeah, there we go. So we process dairy, but no raw milk. And let's see. Thank you, Chad. Let's see. Watch out, folks. Coffee prices are about to soar. Arabica is up 70% since November. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's the yields. This year, the coffee yields are down. And I think most of the coffee is like, of course, Central America. Well, not Central, more like Colombia in that area. Also, Korea makes, I think it's Korea. There's a lot of coffee. Both of them have had just horrible crops this year. So not great, not great. Chad says, you bet, Ferris. VDY, great ETF, pizza, love my monthly dividends. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot out there. So guys, it's time to get in your last minute questions. Doesn't mean we're leaving right away, but you know, I like to give that little bit of a warning. So that way there, yeah, you can't say I didn't give you a warning. Rat's milk. Well, they got to have it, right? They're mammals, so there's got to be rat milk. I really don't know. I, I I hope I live my entire life without ever tasting rat's milk. I'm just saying. I don't want to. Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam. Oh, okay, there we go. Vietnam. That's what I was thinking. I said Korea, but I was thinking Vietnam. Duh. And Brazil. Yeah, Brazil as well. Um, let's see. Mary says, and hit the like button, people. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm. It sends it out so people, you know, and it's not just like, it's not even just now while we're live. You know, it also helps it pass it out to people who are after we're live because, you know, you can watch the replays and things like that. Oh, so good. Wayne says Brazil is number one coffee producer. Massive droughts. Yeah, that's the thing. Brazil, Colombia. I mean, you know, basically South America up into Central America. There's just hasn't been the best year. Has not been the best year, and the same thing with Vietnam and over that area. It's actually interesting. I know, like the coffee that I used to have. You know, it's freeze dried, guys. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But it used to have a really good smell. So when you broke the seal, it had this great aroma that used to come up. But then, and that's because back then it used to be Colombian. But Maxwell House then went and changed their coffee to Vietnam coffee because it was cheaper. You get a little smell, but it's not the great smell it was like back in the day. And I think it's probably been about maybe 10 years or so when they did that switch over. But I still remember the smell I never get to have anymore. What can I say? It's fun. It's fun for sure. Oh dear. Oh gosh. So the next video coming up on Tuesday, and just to bring this up, I'm going to bring over the Discord here. And over in the Discord, we do have the schedule here. It's in here somewhere. Let me see here. There it is, right above. I was like sitting right over it. So you can, of course, see the schedule over on Discord. It's also on the Facebook group. You can join either, or I do every so often put it into the comments as well, just on the community tab, just so that way there you guys can sort of see what is coming up. Actually, right now, look at this. These here have all released. So obviously the next thing after today is going to be the live stream on the weekend. But March 11th, I'm going to do a what has done well so far this year. So I think I did one of those last year. So we'll look at the stocks that have had the best total returns so far in 2024, because we've got a couple of months under us. Let's see who the leaders are for the month. So that's what's going to be coming up there. Just hit a return. That's what's coming up on Tuesday. If you're a channel member, though, you do get to see them one day early. So you'll be able to see it on Monday afternoon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We currently have the deep dive on March 14th. We currently have a vote going on the community tab. So if you have not yet voted, head over to the community tab right now. Just take a gander here. I'm going to refresh this and see what we got. Right now, Canadian Utilities is leading. They got 35% of the vote over Pembina Pipelines, which is at 33%. The other two are out of the race at this point. So, if you're really wanting Pembina Pipelines to win, you got to get your vote in, because right now they are trailing for sure. So, all right. Wayne says, "Are you still a Starbucks fan? I just bought a $100 card there." It's funny. I like some of their specialty stuff. Like your gingerbread latte or your pumpkin spice latte. I've never really liked like their straight up coffee, but keep in mind, I'm not a big fan of brewed coffee. So yeah, I would say no, I'm not technically a fan, but I love their mugs. I love the Starbucks mugs. That's kind of where I'm a fan of their mugs. Let's just say it that way. Wayne says, "Remember to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour." Is it this Sunday? Why was I thinking it was the third week? Because I said that earlier. Okay. What can I say? Really? Are we sure it's this week? Wayne, I trust you. I'm like, okay. Bill says, "No whistling intro, no thumbs up." Seriously, come on. That was funny though. That was really, really funny. Because yeah, I was like, I normally it blocks out my sound. So it blocks out my sound when the intro is playing. And I just changed the intro to something different. And it didn't block it out. And I was just sitting there whistling and drinking coffee. And I think there was even a little burp. And everybody could hear it. That was funny. That was really, really funny. But look at it this way, Bill. If that happened all the time, it wouldn't be as funny. So next time I have a big epic fail, then we'll have something new to laugh at, which is always fantastic. Let's see. Chad says, "Saskatchewan here, no need to play with the clocks." I don't play with the clocks here. Like pretty much everything in the house will self-adjust itself, except for I don't know. I think our microwave actually is smart enough to do it. So, oh well, I'll know if the time is changing this weekend. I'll know Sunday if the microwave did it. Let's see. Well said. Let's see. Although at CN Rail, Western Saskatchewan goes on Mountain Time. Okay. Good old time changing. It's like, I don't know. I really think we don't need the time change anymore. But what do we go to? If we were to do away with the time change, are we going to go with standard, or are we going to go with might as well pull this over here. All right. Yeah, so if we go with time, so if we stop changing the time, what do we do? Do we go with standard? Do we go with daylight? How would you decide? Or do we split it well, you can't really split it in the middle. You can't the problem is, right, is that you kind of have to go with something that sort of works with the rest of the world. And honestly, it's not going to, unless the US does away with time trades, with time zones, Canada won't follow suit. Although you could argue that with the tariffs, why does it matter? Why does it matter anymore? But yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the time change go away. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It's like as soon as I'm perfectly comfortable, my body is, all my rhythms are exactly where they should be. Then along comes the time change, and then I have to get used to them all over again. And by the time I'm ready again, another time change. What can I say? Yeah. So yeah, okay, all right. So the microwave changes automatically because it's an Alexa connected device. I said the A word. I don't think she noticed though. We're good. We're good. We're good for now at least. Oh boy. All right. Well, guys, this has been another good stream. I love it. I love it. We will be back here on the weekend on Sunday for this week. And we've got a lot of great content ready for you guys for March. This is going to be, I think, a fantastic month. So now I'm going to go see what I can find, for a short. We'll see what I have no clue what I'm hoping there's something in there I can work with, because I was like, did I have any good rants? Maybe not. Maybe I didn't have any good rants. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. Anyway, guys, until next time. Thank you guys all for dropping on by, and I'll see you Sunday. I can't wait. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye bye.